Interval training, speed work, sprints, whatever you call it, can be a tad overwhelming for someone over 50. The idea of interval training can be very different than the reality of interval training. This is how I imagined it, the wind in my face, feeling joyful, relaxed, and strong. This, however, was my reality.
Oh, I honestly feel like I'm gonna throw up.
But I'm giving it my best shot and I'm going to share it with you. I've been running for over 25 years. Even though I've been running for that many years, 25 years, I've never really given interval training the attention it really deserves. The only time I would think about speed work is if I was getting ready for a race and I was following a specific program. When it came to that day in the week and it said 6 hills, I would find a hill somewhere around and I would run up it as fast as I could and walk down. I wouldn't be too concerned about how far I went or how fast I went, really. And that was really it for speed work. Well, here I am 25 years later, and I'm learning about intervals. And I am learning out loud because I am sharing it all with you. It's very windy here. I thought this would be a little bit of a sheltered spot. I'm Angela, and this is Lead Your Living, your wellness, your work, your leisure. I can't even believe that I've been running for this long and have not paid attention to some of these things. And so if you've seen any of my other videos, my earlier videos, you can see that all of this kind of came about as a result of after I did my half marathon race in the spring, I made an appointment to have an exercise physiologist do a VO2 test on me. And that the consultation after that led to a summer plan where I'm not really training for a particular race, but a summer plan of 4 runs per week. So you can see all those other videos on my channel about the summer planning and the VO2 max test. They're all on my channel, just waiting for you to view them. This video is about intervals and my continued journey over the summer, trying to progress with where I can get with them. So I started out struggling with trying to maintain 30 seconds of a sprint or a maximum effort. Oh, I'm still struggling, but I am also starting to see progress, and I want to share that with you. I'll give you a look at exactly how my progress is going and some of the obstacles I've had with it and some of the frustrations. And if you've seen some of the other videos, when I met with Dr. Jeff, our exercise physiologist, he talked about the work to rest ratio with respect to intervals. That work refers to the amount of time you're holding the sprint, and then the rest is the amount of time you're resting and recovering. And so I'll be referring to the work to rest ratio. My experience is just one example, but I hope it will show you that speed work can still have a place in our off-season running even as we get older, especially as we get older, even if we don't love it or don't even like it. Stay until the end, because once we go through this, I'm going to share with you 3 things I know for sure about interval training that I've learned along the way, as well as 3 things I'm still trying to figure out. Kicking it off with week 1.
Trying to do 30 seconds in heart zone 5 and then 90 seconds resting. And I didn't get my heart rate up to 164 until kind of my time was up. So I'm not sure if I should extend that. Anyway, I'll play with it. But okay, getting ready for my next 30-second sprint. And no, I cannot hold the phone doing that. Okay. I'm trying to catch my breath here. I think I did 4, maybe 5 sprints. I'm not really sure. It was clunky and awkward.
That counting thing is an issue. I actually did 7 intervals and I did get my heart rate up to 173, and my maximum heart rate, according to my VO2 test, is 175. So that's pretty good. Week 2 of intervals actually went to the track.
Maybe what I'll start with is I'll do a couple at 30 seconds running, 60 seconds recovery, and then I'll see if maybe I can put my sprints up to 45 seconds, because I should be able to do that, I think.
Or maybe not. I was not able to do, I thought I'd do like 30 seconds of running and 60 seconds of rest. I may have done that for a couple of the intervals, but I think I was pretty much 30 seconds running, 90 seconds rest. Again, a little mix up with the counting. I did 8 intervals in total, and my maximum heart rate got up to 165. So, not great, but it is what it is. On to week 3.
Just finished 6 intervals, I think. Maybe only 5. I might have to do one more. I did move it a little bit, and I did 45-second sprints with 1 minute rest periods or recovery periods. And so that's getting closer to 1-to-1. Nowhere near the 3 minutes to 3 minutes, but as far as ratio goes, I'm moving in the right direction.
Week 4.
Okay, just finished 5 intervals at a work to rest ratio of 45 seconds work, so 45 seconds of sprinting and 60 seconds of rest recovery. So I did 5 sprints, still having trouble keeping track of how many sprints.
Yes, you are. I'm almost embarrassed to even show you this. It was actually 7. Oh my goodness. Week number 5. Just back from my interval runs, did 6 intervals, 1 minute running, 1 minute rest. Oh, I might have had to stretch a couple of the resting to like 75 seconds or something. But anyway, it's done. I'm sitting outside in the breeze, cooling off before I head inside to record video number 100. Welcome to video number 100. Woohoo! Despite my enthusiastic welcome to the 100th video, this video that you're watching now is actually my 108th. My 100th video was on the day that I was actually doing this run, was most appropriately 100 videos, 10 truths. Okay, back to the intervals. Looking at the Garmin Connect data, it looks like possibly I could have done 7, but there's something funky happening between 4 and 5. So I'm going to go with that I did 6, and my maximum heart rate was up to 171. So that's pretty good. So I didn't really record anything between my intervals on week 6. This is me on my cool down run, trying to get that nose breathing under control after a hard workout. So week 6 was just pretty much a repeat of week 5, except I added one more interval. So it was work to rest was 1 minute to 1 minute times 7 intervals. This graph looks much cleaner than the other ones because I now started to put in my watch as all separate runs. I have my cool down as my warm up as one run, then the actual intervals as a run on my watch, and I stop and start, and then start a new run for my cool down. So this looks much cleaner. Week 7. So here's a tip. If you have a YouTube channel and you're creating videos about running, you should probably remember to hit the record button. I don't know what happened here. This is all I have from week 7. Thank goodness for Garmin Connect. So here's the data for week 7. It was 7 intervals. I was back and forth about whether to increase the number of intervals. Anyway, it was 7 intervals again, and 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. Week 8, I tried to push that work effort up to 90 seconds.
Okay, trying 90-second intervals with a 1 minute rest in between. I'm only on number 2, and phew, I feel a difference. Number 3. I'm honestly not sure whether it's better to shorten the intervals and do more, or try and stretch out the length of the interval. We'll see. Number 4. Number 5. How appropriate that I'm going by a graveyard. Phew. Yeah. Feeling like I'm gonna die. Number 6. I honestly feel like I'm gonna throw up. Okay. 6 intervals done, and my work to rest ratio was giving her and working for 90 seconds and resting for 60 seconds.
Interesting that my maximum heart rate only got up to 169. Not sure what that is about because I was fully feeling like this was my maximum effort. Every time you see me recording, that's once I've finished the interval and I'm doing my recovery or walk break. So I was still huffing pretty good.
Oh, that's a big jump from what I finally worked up to 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. But you got to jump sometime, whether you feel like you're ready or not. So I tried the 90 seconds. I don't know if I was entirely ready, but you know what? How are we gonna know? As I've said in another video, ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. And I made the decision this morning that I am ready to try to increase that interval. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk and cool down for a couple minutes and I'll start my cool down jog. But although I feel like I'm going to die and honestly thought I was going to throw up, the total time, not including my warm-up run of 1 kilometer or so, but the total time of intervals, that 90 seconds on, 60 seconds rest times 6, was 15 minutes. Oh, it felt longer than that. But on the positive side of things, it's a great way to do a run when you don't have a lot of time, and to do a good run when you don't have a lot of time.
In week 9, I tried to nudge that interval duration a little bit further.
I've just done my warm-up and I'm about to start my intervals. The last time I did them was 90 seconds running and 60 seconds rest. And so I'm not sure if I should just try to repeat that, or maybe I should try 2 minutes of intervals and 2 minutes of rest. That's the 1-to-1. Okay, my first sprint done. I did it for 2 minutes. Oh, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do that. Anyway, we'll see. I'm just gonna walk for 2 minutes and see how that goes. Okay. That feels like a lot. I don't even know what my heart rate is. I'm just trying to go on what feels like a all-out effort. Trying to use that perceived rate of exertion. Oh, and this is only number 3, 4. Feeling like pinpricks or I don't know, something in my calves and my shins. Not so much in my quadriceps, but definitely in my lower legs. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's one thing about living in a small town. Your friends and neighbors often witness you at your weakest and at your ugliest. Or, now that I've said those words out loud, I'm thinking maybe they're witnessing us at our strongest. Yeah, these are not easy. That was number 5. I'm gonna try and do one more. Oh, okay. That's number 6. Oh. Okay, I thought the tempo runs were the ones I hated the most. Intervals have just bumped up to the top. Oh, freaking hate it. Oh. Now I know I'll give myself a half hour and I'll be pumped because I'll be so glad it's done, that I gave it my best effort. Yeah, that feeling hasn't kicked in yet. And I did 2 minutes sprint and 2 minutes rest. That's progress for me. Because this is speed work, and I don't know if it's technically speed work. I think speed work actually refers to even shorter durations of intervals. But anyway, arguably we'll call it speed work. Speed work for me. Because I'm 57 years old, almost 58, that's really pushing my body. And so I'm very concerned about safety. And so one of the things that I focus most on is tuning in. How am I feeling? And the other thing that I remember Dr. Jeff saying, the exercise physiologist who's been in my other videos, is to concentrate on form and posture, all of that. And so I'm constantly trying to push my shoulders down, keep my core tight, and to run like that. Do I do it every time? No, I'm flopping all over the place, but I try, and I do want to do this safely. So lots learned. It was a little tougher than I thought today, but having said that, I wasn't sure I could do 6 intervals at that ratio. So we'll take that for progress. I do have my chest strap on for my heart monitor today. I don't wear it all the time, but I did put it on today just to see.
My maximum heart rate was 170, so not a whole lot of difference wearing the chest strap. Okay, I'm so glad that you are still here. I want to share with you 3 things that I know for sure about interval training. 1, training works.
I'm slowly progressing with my time for the sprinting part, and the ratio is moving in the right direction. When I say ratio, I mean the work to rest ratio. I'm trying to work up to 3 minutes sprint, 3 minutes rest. Today is the farthest I've gotten.
Having a progressive plan that starts where you're at, and it's based on your own data, your own experience, your own level of fitness and familiarity with running or sprinting. Having a plan that starts where you're at, and having a goal that you're working towards is so helpful. It moves us forward. So give some serious thought to where you are, how you might start, and where you want to be, what you're working up to. Number 2, one of the things that I know for sure is warm-ups and cool downs are essential. I'm actually embarrassed to say that I've been running for 25 years and haven't really paid a lot of attention to warming up or cooling down. And I don't know why. And anyway, it is what it is, and I am where I am. But what I have learned, especially through some of the speed works, the tempo runs and the interval runs, is that warming up gets our bodies ready for what is coming up, a pretty hard effort. And not only is it important to kind of get us mentally prepared, but it is so important for injury prevention, for recovery, for good performance on the fast part of the run, for so many things. And the cool down, oh my goodness, I love it. It's just like a great big reward when you're done. You get to go slow, you know the hard work is behind you.
Now I have about 2 kilometers maybe from my house. I'm just going to do a very slow run back.
Sometimes that allowed me a little bit of time to say some swear words and say how much I hated doing the run. But then by the time you're done the cool down and you're getting home, you're thinking, yeah, it's worth it. I did it. Sorry, I'm battling the wind. It's not cooperating here. Oh well, we're gonna keep pushing through. Oh, just want to make sure that my microphone is not covered, and I'm sitting this way kind of with my back towards the wind so the wind's not blowing in the microphone. All right, so the third thing that I know for sure that I've learned, and this was a big learning, and I'd say probably only in the last couple of times I've done the interval runs that I've actually learned this, is that maximum effort does not mean, I don't know, sprinting as fast as you possibly can as soon as you start your interval. Sports scientists describe maximum effort in intervals as the highest intensity that you can maintain being a key word, maintain evenly for the full work period. So if you're trying for 30-second intervals, you should be able to maintain that effort for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever it is that you've set for your interval. It's not an all-out burst of energy and intensity that then quickly fades before you even get the interval done. I learned that the hard way. Okay, there are some things that I still haven't figured out. Three things. One is the heart rate monitoring. This has been a huge source of frustration for me. So I have all my heart rate zones defined, and that was as a result of the VO2 test and working with Dr. Jeff afterwards. And so I know specifically what my range is for my zone 5, and the interval should be done in zone 5. The problem I'm having is I actually don't think our wearables, our watches, can track it efficiently or effectively enough in real time, because I know sometimes I am giving it what I think is an all-out effort, and my heart rate is not up to there until after a little bit. It may even be when I'm starting to in the rest period that the heart rate shows up, and so I'm thinking that's a little bit maybe of a delay in my watch. It may be specific to my watch, I'm not sure. And I've tried it with and without my chest strap, so and same thing, it doesn't seem to be overly reliable. So I am really starting to lean into, or continue to lean into, the whole rate of perceived exertion.
So picturing that scale from 1 to 20, where you say where you feel like your effort is, that whole perceived rate of exertion that I keep referencing. And I felt like I was at, I ranged between 18, 19, and 20 when I was doing my sprints. So regardless of what my heart rate shows, I think I just have to focus on that.
The second thing I'm still trying to figure out is whether I should be, as I move forward, and I should have asked this question when I had my consultation, but I didn't because I wasn't into it and I didn't have any kind of lived experience with it. But now that I've been doing it for 8 or 9 weeks, one of the things that I'm not sure about is whether I should be working on increasing how many intervals I should be doing it. So should I be doing intervals times 6, then times 7, times 8, and working up that number? Or should my focus be on staying at, say, 6 intervals, but just increasing the duration? I started at a 1 to 3 work to rest ratio. So sprint for 30 seconds and rest for 90 seconds. I'm working up to 1 to 1, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. And so I think where I'm landing is I'm going to keep it at 6 intervals now every time I go out for the next while, and just focus on trying to increase the duration of the interval. I'm not sure if that's right, but that feels right to me. The third thing that I am still not sure of, and which is obvious when you see any of my videos on me keeping count of how many intervals I've done or how many sprints I've done, I have not found a great system to keep track of the number of intervals that I've actually completed. And so now what I'm doing, because my watch can't do it, the Garmin online program, you can set it all up and you can get it how you want. You can say it, yep, I want to do 30-second active rest and 60 seconds, 30-second active running, 60 seconds rest. So you can do that all online on the Garmin app. But my watch in particular doesn't allow that to download. So I can't, it's not an option for me unless I get a new watch. And so I get totally mixed up in how many intervals I've done. So that continues to be a source of confusion. So what I did in my last one, or maybe it was the second last one, is I turn my phone on and I say 1 and 2. And then when I say it out loud and I'm recording it, I don't know, seems to make it a little easier to keep track. My husband had a great suggestion. He said, wear bands around your hand and switch them over for each interval. So I may try that, because that's much less frigging around than getting my camera out saying, okay, interval number 1 done. And the other part of that whole keeping track of the numbers, it's fine when it's 1 minute on, 1 minute off. That gets pretty easy to watch to keep track of on your watch. But when you get into 30 seconds, or when you're starting at 30 seconds sprint and 90 seconds rest, okay, the math gets confusing. And the more intervals I do, the less efficient my math skills get. So just as we wrap up, I'm not at my goal yet. I haven't reached the 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off yet. I've still got more work to do. But the difference between where I was when I started and where I am now after 9 weeks of trying this is pretty significant. And I think it just reminds me that progress comes with patience. It's sometimes slow. For me, it's really been about going slow to go fast. I've had to just slowly increase those increments. I'm starting small, I'm sticking with it, and letting the fitness build over time. This is not a quick win. This is not a video that's going to say this is exactly 3 hacks for getting your sprinting down pat. So no, it's a process. If you are thinking about Speedwork, don't expect overnight results. I'm still in the middle of this journey, but I can see the improvements already. And that's why it's so good to keep track of these things, because you do see the improvements over time. And that's what keeps me going. And I hope your improvements will keep you going. I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, I might do one more because I'm not sure if that was 6. I was trying to do 6. Okay.
Just in case you're a list person and like to see this all in a row, here's the numbers from week 1 through 9. So I think it goes without saying, but just in case, I better say this if it's not abundantly clear. I am not a health expert or an expert of any kind when it comes to running and training. My information is based only on my own learnings and experience. As always, please discuss any new health initiative with your primary care provider.